Welcome back to more Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. So last time we checked out the raid shelter again, and yeah, for once I had good luck with getting a rumor and also getting a random encounter, so that's good. But anyway, this time though, we're going to be doing Lone Shadow 1. So, you can actually buy items to help yourself out, and I recommend doing so. We're going to buy antidotes. I'm feeling 10 antidotes because yeah, these can still help us out. I might also want some chewing souls too. So I'll buy 5 of them as well. And yeah, that'll do. You can also buy beads if you're really worried. Because yeah, I'll buy at least 1. There you go. Because those could be quite useful. Definitely so if so someone is under leveled, shall we say. So yeah. Anyway, let's go into the lore room and let's make a start. So, additional scenario, Lone Shadow 1. Well then, farewell for a time. Here we go, Lone Shadow. In Conan Luna Plaza, Shiori Miyashiro's room. And that's this person. Come in, Tatsuya-kun. The room over there is open, so feel free to use it. I lived in bachelor housing until last year. I didn't have any privacy at all though, so I splurged and rented this place. It's kind of big for someone living alone, so you came at just the right time. I mean, come on, this is the only place with an open room close to my workplace. We'll carry the living room sofa to your room later, or you prefer a bed? If you want to watch TV, you can use this room anytime. But yeah, this is all about Tatsuya, and yeah, I need to mention this too. So, there's a lot of dialogue, and one reason why is that a lot of it's in this visual novel style, where the character speaks about the events. So yeah, we're hearing about what Shiori has to say here, which I find kind of interesting to be honest. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. And yeah, because of all the dialogue, that's why it kind of takes a while to get through. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I invite him into my home. Clothes and what few cosmetics I was scattered all over. I try to keep trying in as bright a tone as possible while I tidied up, but I might have sounded a little shrill and nervous. I don't know if he was being considerate or was embarrassed by the state of my apartment. He loitered by the window, stoic and silent, without looking at the room. Instead, the long shadow that bore down across my floor told the tale of his mental state, of lost bearings, of rejection, and of loneliness. He meant to vanish somewhere, like shadows slipping into darkness with the sunset, doing something all on his own, now and forever. But I wouldn't allow it. I've had circumstances that have been on hold for 10 years. That's right, this wasn't just his story, it was both of ours. Imisaki World Club Sokyak. And this is taking place a little bit earlier. Ani Yoshisaka-san. Who are you? The fact that she didn't deny it when I suddenly asked the name and instead asked my identity proved I was her. I was prepared for it and opened my purse and thrust my ID into her face. Her blank expression was unusual for a kid her age. I didn't much like my own surly portrait, which is printed above my full name and my rank as a policeman. And yeah, now she formally introduced herself. Shiori Miyashiro, with the Conan PD Juvenile Division. A pleasure to meet you. And yeah, she's entirely new to the PSP version because, let's just say, she's kind of important in the Lone Shadow scenarios, so yeah. I only came here to use the bathroom. I'm just about to head home. She already guessed why Juvie Detective, and not one of the traffic cops she's acquainted with, showed up at this hour. As Anna moved away from the wall, she'd been leaning again. She told me a bold-faced lie and began walking towards the exit. That's not what I came here for. Not today. I've got things I want to ask you. Anna stopped, glanced over her shoulder, and fixing an emotionless stare. I realized she jumped to conclusions of why I'd come. Otherwise, it wouldn't have mattered what I said. She had tried to leave, but just as she'd been doing, to avoid causing trouble for the club. Every community has unwritten rules. She dropped out of school and the track and field scene, and found a place in a world where she didn't belong. She was already a part of this apathetic subculture. You know that Daisuke Kaneda, the man who did the hit and run on you, got out on bail, correct? What about it? He was killed. The first emotion appeared on his face. Even that was evanescent. and when her beautiful eyebrows twisting with suspicion returned to her old stony-faced mask, she let out a single brief breath. And so you came to investigate. When did he die? I no doubt knew far too well what the Cotswould ask at a time like this due to the incident in his sports career. She beat me to the punch by asking for Kaneda's estimated time of death. She wasn't just gutsy, but also quick on the uptake. Naturally, she would have an alibi. It wasn't like I doubted it either. But with the state of Sumaru City, it was possible to kill a person without ever personally laying hand on them. Not interested in alibi. A proper investigator will no doubt come and ask you about that soon enough. What I want to know about is this. Have you seen this before? I pull out a message card with white letters printed on a black field and hand to her. You're next. The hell is this? The sender is Joker. He's the bizarre, murderous monster from Rumor. You know, the one where if you call your number from your cell, he'll kill someone you hate for you. You've heard of him, right? Something identical to that had arrived at Kaneda's home. He seemed like Joker's conscience. Yeah, I can't say that. Enough to send an advanced notice. Yeah, a lot of big words that I'm not familiar with speaking out loud, but anyway. I never would have expected it would have matched Rumors so perfectly. Oh, so you think I asked him to kill the guy? Sorry, but if I wanted him dead, I'd done it myself. Anna casually flipped the card over, glanced at the address, about to hand it back when she stopped herself. This is the second time today she's made that face. That's right, it's my own address. Got any hunches? I think it's a prank. There could be some kid who's got a grudge against me for the work I do. But no, this is my doing. I called the Joker and asked him to kill Shiori Miyashiro. So she did that. And yeah, I think it should be pretty obvious why she decided to call the Joker after herself. But anyway, I didn't know she was lost for words, but Anna's expression didn't return to its blank mask. There were probably a lot of guys who loved to see her make a different face from her usual mask. My efforts have been praised by those gyrating bodies on the dance floor, although I doubt it was this face that the guys wanted to see. Have you ever called your number from your own cell? Normally it acts as though the line's busy and won't connect, but this went through. You never said a word, but the person from Rumor definitely picked up the line. Why are you giving your name? There's no way I could test it using someone else's name. Hey, how is it for you? Does Joker just kill the other person, or does he demand a reward or compensation or something? Have you ever held a conversation with him or seen him in person? His hair? You think if he didn't cut it, he looked like an uncut lion's mane? Wasn't he in his late 20s, maybe around 27, 28? As proud on, Anna appeared to shut me out again. With a cold look, she stretched her arm out again and handed the nose back to me. You wanna know that bad? Why not ask him? If there really is a Joker, he'll come kill you, right? Sorry, since he went to the trouble of preparing that little prop, but I didn't ask him to kill anybody. Exactly right. If the Joker was just as rumored, even if I left him alone, he'd come to me. I just had to wait. That was my intention in the beginning. That's why I gave my name to whoever was loitering on the other side of the bug trap. Bug tap. Despite that, I paid this girl a visit because I wanted to calm my nerves. The photo of the victim flashed before my eyes. I seen the picture at the Assembly HQ investigating the bizarre serial murders. Nobody wanted to die like that. If she had requested a murder from Joker, then I might have gotten a clue leading to his identity. Then I would have been able to arrest Joker before there had been any more victims. But that meant this luckless girl would be accused of either being an accessory to the prime suspect for the murders, or else instigating them. I wish I was in such a hurry to catch the true Joker that I only thought about my own benefit and unconsciously hoped for that. So naturally, she held me in contempt. This wasn't how a policewoman representing the juvenile division, which handled the well-being of young people, should have conducted herself. Still, I was a little relieved. Judging by how she reacted so far, this girl was innocent. My expressly accusatory interrogation had pissed her off. You're absolutely right. Sorry for giving the third degree. I really ought to confirm it myself after. Looked into her without permission from the investigation HQ, so I had to make up for offending her when she was also a victim of a crime. I've been working on my own, but if I broke faith with this system, I ended up just another dirty cop. That wasn't an option for me. Besides which, the name of the game was to unmask, stop, and arrest Choka. I steeled myself, approached the employee at the entrance, showed her my badge, and spoke. This covers a VIP floor further in, right? Are there any entrances besides that door over there? The man tried to avoid me in my eyes. He knew I was going to be trouble. No. We recently switched owners and the back's mid-renovation. Nobody's using it right now, so it's empty. How convenient. I like you to rent it to me till morning. Can you give me the key? Huh? No way, I'm a part-timer. I don't know anything about that kind of shit. This cop reported that it's a tight-free business, right? I wonder what time it is now. Just when did the alcohol start flowing freely? I'm sure you know the food and entertainment laws. If you don't, perhaps I could take you on a tour of the police station. I think at worst, you get a month of casual leave. The new owner won't get mad, right? Casual leave in other words, he'd be arrested as an accomplice and the business would get suspended. By law, businesses where customers stand at dance must report applying for a license to serve food and drink. But once they get it, they can't do business past midnight. Stupidly honest clubs that close that early aren't popular. If they want to do business till dawn, they need to apply as a restaurant that serves liquor late at night. But if they do that, they can't let the customers dance anymore. The so-called small and medium-sized clubs conduct legally great business practice just by looking the other way. I understand, but what the hell are you going to do? Please don't get me in trouble. Thanks, I'm just going to dance till dawn, if I survive, that is. He gave me 2 keys. I handed the man my business card, which had my cell number on it. It was the card I give to kids I was providing guidance to. I told them to call me if they had any problems. Naturally, to prevent misuse, they didn't mention that I was a policewoman. Then I politely asked for his cooperation, namely to call me if anyone else tried to enter the VIP floor. I added that if morning comes and nobody leaves, he also calls Sergeant Suo of the Criminal Investigations Division. I emphasized that he not contact any other policeman. I was sure Detective Suo would be shocked if he got a call just like I requested. After all, we never really talked before anyway. Even if he only knew me by name, I knew him well. The hell are you trying to pull? All the victims up to now have been targeted in places where they were alone. If I'm going to head into the back, staying by myself is ideal. There's no exit or entrance beside this one, so if anyone but me leaves through here, that means the Choka. Carbon 4 is the real deal. Hurry up and go home. No all adults are as understanding as I am, so keep your cruising to a minimum. No matter what happens, you mustn't come peek inside. The guy you mentioned earlier, Detective Suo. He'll probably come see you before long. He's heading the investigation number 501, Joker. When he arrives, explain to him what I asked you tonight, and tell him you don't know anything beyond that. He doesn't think you requested the hit from 501 either. Upon telling Anna that, I passed through the door to the VIP floor, just in case I locked the door from the inside. If I were number 501, then there's no way I ignore a locked room mystery of this caliber. All I connected to the secret dance floor chained into a red Chinese starter sign. Word on the street was that nobody got in without the say-so of a regular. It looked like the rumors that the Taiwanese mafia bought out this club was somehow true. Before, when I came to do guidance to the students of Kasukayama High, Club Zodiac was a cheap place arranged with constellations as the name implies. While walking through a vulgar red corridor, the sort only the nouveau rich could like, I pulled out my cell and called a familiar number. After the fifth ring, someone picked up the line. Just like before, the rumor was true. Remember how I asked you to kill Shiori Miyashiro? She's on the VIP floor at Club Zodiac in Yumasaki Ward. That's all I said before I hung up the phone. There was no going back anymore. By the end of the night, I know if the rumors were true or not. If I failed, I just had another court stop out. And he's still a household garage now, so yeah. As he saw that, yeah, Shiori's thinking that, yeah, she's going to try and lure the Joker out and try to arrest her. We'll see how well that goes, but anyway. Now time for another perspective, though. At that moment, I remembered everything. I remembered that I was from the other side, and everything that had happened there. Oh yeah, another thing I should mention too, yeah. Some people might think that, yeah, this could reveal things a little bit too early in the game, when normally it gets revealed later, but I don't know. I feel like yeah, you can't definitely put two and two together, especially if you did a dart transfer like myself, so yeah. Mayani, Mayazumi-san, Ikichi, Lisa, and Jun. We saw we never forget each other, and then we were torn apart. My friends watched Mayani and me. Mayani, the other Mayani, was smiling right before my eyes. Are you okay? You're not hurt. Sorry about that. I'm such a klutz. Wait, have you met someone before? We did. We did, yes. We did. There's no way I could have forgotten. Even if you told me to. Absolutely. Back when we were kids, I was always chasing after you. That's right. Please never stop smiling like that. Jun and I promise to protect your smile. But I screwed up. The first time was 10 years ago, and the second was in his world, and the third time. Damn it. I got the hell out of there. I had no idea what I should do. That's why I shut myself away within the body of the other me and decided to sleep. If I saw nothing, heard nothing, and felt nothing, then maybe, just maybe, the peaceful days everyone had gained would continue uninterrupted. But there was no way he would let that slide. You may flee your sins and hide yourself if you like, but you do know what will become of this world, don't you? You marionette strung on the threads of fate, no one can escape the jaws of despair. I'm waiting. In my dream, he left a brand on my right hand, the mark of a sinner possessed by darkness. It dawned on me what was about to happen. People could neither run nor hide from themselves. There was one thing I had to do. If you want my life, I give it to you. If you tell me to fall into darkness, I'll do it. But I won't let anyone have their way with mine, or this world and my friends live. I'm the only one he could do as he pleases with, but I won't go down easy. In exchange for everything I am, I'll burn that scornful faceless mask and everything else of his to ashes. It's the one and only thing I can do to atone. So yeah, suddenly the cell phone rang. It wasn't my brother. His calls were already blocked without me having to do anything. Looks like this me got along with his brother as well as I did with mine. The call ID said it was from Ana Yoshizaka. I knew the me on this side hung out with Yoshizaka, but not really him. I can't respond to like he would. It rang 10, 20, 30 times before I gave up and took the call. If nothing else, as long as I was temporarily borrowing this body, I figured it'd be better to call Yoshizaka. I can't stay in touch. So yeah. Again, like I said before, yeah, the Tatsuya of this side, let's just say, yeah, he actually hangs out with Ana, so yeah. And of course, this leads to some interesting things for, well, Tatsuya, because again, well, yeah, it should be pretty obvious why. I don't really need to spell out because again, the dialogue kind of did that before, so yeah. Tatsuya, not hurt, are you? No. Yeah, I thought something had happened. I knew Yoshizaka been waiting all night for me on this side to show up at Club Zodiac, but she didn't blame me for ditching her or ignoring the phone. She just expressed her relief. The only person she talked like this to is the other me on the other side. I also had a close relationship just like he and Yoshizaka have here. My chest hurt. Tatsu, you said your brother was a cop, right? Earlier this weird cop chick came and holed up herself in the VIP floor. Seems like she called Joker and told him to kill her. She asked Nakamura-san to give your brother a ring in the morning if she didn't come out. You don't want to see your brother, right? I'm gonna go check up on her in a bit, but it'd be better if he didn't come tonight. That's all. Yeah, I mean, I've probably never broken a promise. Just so I could still believe I would come. So she went out of the way to call so I wouldn't run afoul of my brother on this side. But the bigger shock was hearing her say Joker's name. On the other side, Miney and the rest of us had fought against Yoshizaka, become one of the Joker's minions. Don't, Yoshisaka. Don't you dare go in. I'll go. Get out there right now. Don't go anywhere near Choka. Yoshisaka? Okay, if that's what you say, I'll do it, Tatsuya. To me on this, I call Yoshisaka by first name. I didn't have time to correct myself, though. Choka might have already been close by. I was concerned about the woman dropping my brother's name too. On the other side, my best friend Jun Kurosu put on the Choka mask after he screwed with his memories. But Jun kept his final promise. He should have lost his memories of the other side, and now be living peacefully on this side as Jun Kashihara. Someone who wasn't Jun had become this side's Joker and is committing serial murder as his pawn. Marking the end and a new beginning, I vividly recalled the last time the Oracle of Maya, which had served as the trigger to the destruction of the other side. The same thing that happened to the other side was happening here. The distortion that he had set over 10 years ago extended over 2 worlds. He had known from the start what choice he'd make after losing Mayani, and how things would turn out afterwards. Gritting my teeth, I had an extra helmet for Yoshisaka, just in case, and sped off into the city night on my motorcycle. Fine then, I'll go ahead and tear the slimy distortion he wove into causality to pieces, and then finally I'll rip his throat out. But yeah, I do like this perspective too, because yeah, seeing one thing about Longsha is of course seeing Tatsuya's thoughts and what he's going through. And again, it's very interesting too, because again, he wants to act like, you know, this Tatsuya, but of course that's very hard for him to do, so yeah. Again, I think it's very fascinating to be honest, but anyway. Tatsuya. When I reached the club, Yoshisaka spotted me and came running up with a slight limp that reminded of a hit and run. Why are you still here, Yoshisaka? Sorry, but... When Yoshisaka finished explaining what was going on, the club employee called out to me looking nervous. He was acquainted with the other me, Nakamura, if I remembered right. Yo, Tatsuya, I heard from Ana-chan, but Detective Sue is your big brother, right? I ain't calling the pigs from the club. You know that lady caught too? Damn it, this ain't funny. Normally the new owner's got the man's number. Nakamura-san, let me the key to the back. I know you've got a spare. I'll talk to her. Talk? Hell no. She said to ring it in if anybody tried going after her. She's a cop, dude, a cop. You don't have to call. I spawned and picked up a business card that I guess that lady detective had left on the counter. Shiori Miyashiro. I went ahead and memorized her name and phone number. Next instant, the card burned up in my hand and turned to ashes. Was that some magic trick? Right, yeah, you can use a persona to do that anyway. Nakamura yelped in surprise. Even Yoshisaka, whose expression hardly ever changed, widened her eyes. Still, they wouldn't have been able to see the arm of my persona, Apollo. The key. When I held my hand, Nakamura got the key out from the case and handed it over, trembling with fear. The only spare I got right now is the key for that door. You know there's another door deeper in, right? I've got the key for that one in the staff room. When I nodded, I grabbed the wooden sword that was crammed into the umbrella stand behind the counter. Given what kind of club this was, the rare brawl would break up between customers. Yami knew Nakamura had prepared it for self-defense, meaning I knew too. Hey, you couldn't be Joker. You couldn't be, right? I looked up and Nakamura shrank away. Don't go spreading weird rumors. If it's the same as the other side, that'll cause problems. Other side? The hell are you talking about? You're freaking me out, man. I paid Nakamura no more mind, but when I tried to head for the VIP floor, Yoshisaka blocked my way. You've been acting weird lately. Are you really Tatsuya? Women really are sharp. She was half right and half wrong, but then it was natural for her to have suspicions. Yami would have dealt with them better. He even joked around with her before, tried to get Yoshisaka to laugh with some lame expression, not like me. It was extremely unlikely I'd get Yoshisaka to move until she got an acceptable answer. Nothing for her, I decided to tell the truth. I'm me, do I look like anyone else to you? On the other side, I had a scar on my back, carved there by Pseudo 10 years ago. The Yami wouldn't have had it, or shouldn't. I was borrowing the body the body of that me. She wouldn't know about any scar on my back as long as I didn't strip. This side branched off by raising the fact that me, Mayani, Akichi, Lisa, and Jun met 10 years ago. Me and Mayani never got attacked by Pseudo either. But lately, ever since I started to take control of it, scars have started appearing on this body too. It's an omen that the other side is in the process of encroaching on this side. While replying, Yoshisaka pulled her eyes into mine. She was tall for a woman, but I still had a head on her. She couldn't tell that was a different Tatsu on the inside, could she? Aren't you going to do as I said? Go home already, Yoshisaka, before things get any worse. Yoshisaka bird rise. Is someone really gonna kill her? I said some awful shit to her. I don't know what she said to her, but Yoshisaka didn't need to worry about this. The other woman should have taken responsibility. She was the one who caused this mess. Don't worry, Yoshisaka, I won't let her get killed. That's why I came here. Hey, what do you tend to do, Tatsuya? Atone for my sins. Don't get involved with me for a while. With that said, I sit past Yoshisaka. Anytime I go involved with someone else, it brought me pain without fail. I didn't want to let anyone else feel like this ever again. With this, I bring all of this to an end. And now, yeah, we finally get to control Tatsuya. So, yeah, we can have a little look at what he's carrying. He still has the same items that we have in the main game. So, yeah, remember those Antos I bought? Well, there they are. Same with the cards, actually. And, yeah, we can look at his status. And again, he's very good. And yeah, despite the fact that this is taking place before we met him in the main game and he used his persona in that fight, he still keeps the ranks from that battle, so yeah. Anyway, you can see his description too. Tatsu's brother, whom Maya refers to as the Deja Vu boy. He seems to be after the Joker. Anyway, we could look at everything else, but it probably doesn't matter. But you can talk to everyone here too. But yeah, considering that, yeah, there's so much dialogue, again, we only voice the important people, so yeah. Again, yeah, I think, yeah, I think the thing about Lone Shadow is that, yeah, it really wants to show, you know, Tatsu's perspective in these early parts of the story, at least with this scenario, so yeah. So again, I think it's pretty interesting, again, seeing all the insecurities that, you know, he's going through too is just really interesting as well. And yeah, seeing how, you know, other characters are affected too, like Anna here as well, I also find really interesting too. It's really cool stuff. And yeah, another thing about it too is it kind of explains some other things too, which we'll go into later. Tatsuya. I'm not gonna say anything else, but don't bust up the club, please. Go on. Oh, and I will insult the mine, so take care of it. We actually can't change Tatsuya, but yeah, he has that one sword equipped, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, this is interesting. Anyway, on the other side of the hallway, the cheap-looking upholstery, spangled with constellations to match Club Zodiac's name. It had been changed to Chinese-style red upholstery. Nakamura had said the perpetrator had changed. I wondered they were trying to set up a Chinese restaurant in the interior. Then a few winged monsters I've never seen before dropped down from the hallway ceiling. This dialogue here, I think, is also referencing what this thing is. They were not altogether hornets, nor crabs, nor ants, nor vampire bats, but creatures unpleasantly, horrifically eerie. So yeah, I believe, yeah, that's how they're described in Lovecraft mythos, so yeah. At least the wording's similar, at least, but anyway. If it wasn't wing type persona, just looking upon them might have driven me mad and sent me to scream from the room. That's how big of a punch they packed. They snapped back the wings with a whip-like crack, and a malicious buzz started emanating from their abdomens, which was soaring like a hornet. They had mouths on what looked to be their heads, but it seemed like their voices came from below. I couldn't quite pronounce it correctly myself, but I heard noises like Biyaki, or Bayake, and La La Hostel. At any rate, they were probably his bright idea. This meant that there would be demons past this point. You take me to a warm part? Sorry, but I'm not gonna waste my time swatting flies. Get out of it now. When I grumbled that to him, who was watching from somewhere, they made that growing la la noise from their abdomen simultaneously, then flew with incredible vigor through the narrow hallway at me. Let's take them on. So yeah, these are Byakis. And yeah, Byaki is very interesting because yeah, they're in Persona 5 Royal as well. And yeah, they're also in this game too. So for this fight, I recommend using Gigantic first. And if you get low on health, use a PPU. But the thing is though is that yeah, my Tots is level 88, so you might not need to heal. But yeah, if you are lower level though, you might need to, so yeah. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, even this Tatsuya needs a little bit of help, so yeah. So I'll go for the one that I punched earlier, which I think was this one. But yeah, these guys resist everything, so I do think that Gigantifist does a bit more because of that, so yeah. And yeah, they're pretty tanky. They have Photon Cannon. But luckily though, Tatsuya's good agility, means that yeah, he can dodge that. So you go, Photon Cannon is a very strong physical attack, even though it doesn't really look like a physical attack, but anyway. And yeah, they're still hanging on, so yeah. I hope I am attacking the same one. Maybe I'm not, but anyway. So that's one of them gone. I feel like I wasn't attacking the right one, so yeah. Anyway, do this again. And there we go. Yeah, that looked like it. He actually gave us an open door card, interesting enough, so yeah. But yeah, enemies can also drop items here too, so that's interesting. When they died, the monsters foamed violently like dries. Then they vanished, leaving behind a nose-twisting stench. I couldn't afford to drag my feet here. I needed the other key that Nakamura forgot in the staff room in order to enter that VIP floor further in. It'd be easy to bust down a single door, but there was a policeman inside. If I had made a show of busting up the club, I'd get Nakamura in trouble, and the army would get accused of a crime he wouldn't remember committing. I want to do this as carefully as possible. I ran in heading for the staff room. Alright, time to explore Zodiac. This Zodiac's a bit different because yeah, this is the non-maze version, I believe, so yeah. So I'm seeing, I believe you actually go backwards. Because we can get some Onuses here. And then yeah, I believe you can go up to the second floor. You can see that's where we need to go. But anyway, so now we have some different enemies to fight here. The Hunhao and the Pickles. The Pickles is full of misfortune, so yeah. We should definitely kill him. Luckily though he's weak to fire, and we do have fire, so that's good. So we're gonna go for good old Huggy Bun on him. And the only problem with Tatsuya being so leveled, he can't really heal by leveling up, so yeah, we're gonna have to rely on items. But hopefully that won't be too bad. So he goes for Lightning Strike. And yeah, for Hunhao, he doesn't have a weakness, so you can use whatever you want. At least the weakness that Tatsuya can exploit, so yeah. And there he goes. So yeah, basically I'm only really fighting because I might actually get money for doing that too, but yeah, another thing about it is that yeah, it means that Tatsuya he gets a rank on this persona, and that's kind of important, especially if you're doing this lower level than I am, so yeah. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else, so I think I'm gonna go up. But let me double check my instructions. So yeah. If we do go backwards though, yeah, we get more dialogue actually. So you know what, let's check it out. Does mean more fighting though, which... Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm gonna see if I can escape. There you go. I'm not gonna chance full of misfortune, so yeah, because I don't think we can actually contact them, so yeah. And luckily though, Tatsuya is very strong, so he should be able to escape from that no problem. Then we got Demeter here, doesn't also have a weakness, so yeah, we can go for whatever we want. I think Gigantoverse again is stronger than Akikan, I guess we could try out here. There you go, 253. Goes for Magmar, which doesn't do anything, and now we can go for Gigantic Fist. Let's see how much damage this does. 225, so it actually does a bit less. Luckily though, that's not a problem for Apollo, so I could talk about Tatsu as a playable character here, but I don't know. I feel like I want to wait until, you know, later, let's just say, so yeah. Hey, rank 4, good. Here's again, yeah, you're kind of just using Apollo, and that's really it, so yeah. Apollo is definitely a very good persona, learns fire skills, Gigantifist is good too, and also, Gigantifist is good, and even gets nuke skills too, so yeah. Hey, let's talk about Shiori again. You can't go outside, obviously. You need to actually, make progress through here, so yeah. Although you can actually go backwards, because, yeah, that's like the, past area. But you can't go out. But yeah. Just making sure there's not any more new dialogue there, so yeah. Alright. With that done, let's actually progress. So yeah, we need to go up the stairs and continue exploring this dungeon. Anyway, Quilibra, they are weak to Gigantic Fist, so we want to use that. Like so. And he has a Feral Bite, but yeah, again, Tatsu has the agility, so yeah. So there you go. Of course, him flying Sword does mean that, yeah, he doesn't get mutations, which is kind of a shame because, yeah, those would help out a lot. Getting, like, even war stats, rank ups and stuff, that is what it is. Alright, we're on the second floor now. And yeah, for the second floor, what we need to do is we need to go get some items and also, go to the staff room. There's 2 stairs, one leads to the staff room, one doesn't, so yeah. So we learned that, yeah, Archetyne is probably better, and we learned the Cartridge, that's nice. Just in case enemies use buffs. There we go. And yeah, that doesn't do anything, and now we can go for this. So yeah. Yeah, the main problem with Tatsu is that, yeah, keeping his SP up, which is why, yeah, the Turing Souls are quite important. Over here we get 10 beads, that will be very useful. And 2 Turing Souls, so yeah. Hey, we definitely don't want to do that. Because you're taking unnecessary damage when you're alone like this, that's not great. And yeah, this is why also Zodiac is... Again? Really? Okay, let's just hope we can escape. There we go. Yeah, I'm not taking any chances of that. So yeah, is there anything here? No. So yeah. What we want to do is we want to go to the left side. Although yeah, we'll go through a lot of damaging floors, so we actually have to go through the right side. But yeah, we want to go left again because I want to go left because yeah, that's something we need to actually go to progress. We need that staff room after all, so yeah. If we're actually gonna get into the VIP room, that's the idea. So anyway, we take a bit of damage there, and we can go for another Archetyne. Like so. I actually didn't kill that time. We'll see how normal attack does. It doesn't do very good, but hey, it saves us speed. As you have like no health left. Yep, there you go. And that's with a wooden sword, by the way, so yeah. So there you have it. So yeah, let's just keep going then. Once again, let's be careful of these damaging floors. So, yeah, like I said, we need to go left first. Dang it, again. They really want me to lose my money, not do they? Luckily though, yeah, Tatsu can just do that. Let's go up here. This should lead to where the staff room is, so let's keep going. Alright, these enemies don't look very familiar. We have the Zabos and the Lanyudu. What do we want to do against these? So the Zabos, he's weak to light, and so is the Lanyudu. We don't have any of those. We don't have light cuts, so I think I'm gonna try Gigantic Fist first on the Zabos. I think the Zabos is also a water user, so that's another reason why. And here we go for it again. There you go. And Mudor, luckily that doesn't kill us. One interesting thing about him though, we can actually talk to him because he's one of the enemies that actually gets eager if we talk to him with Tatsuya. So let's try it. Tatsuya alone can do it looks good kill, but look away. So he gets eager from that. What are you trying to say? Give me your cards. Didn't like that. Alright, what is that? Fireworks? He didn't like that again. Which channel would you want to be? Hamster? Yeah, he didn't like that. I get dull pissed, but oh well. We'll give him another Gigantic Fist. And that will take him out. So we dodge again, and we can give him another one. Like so. So unfortunately, yeah, that didn't go so great, but that's good. We did get a protection Magatama though, so that's cool. But anyway, now we want to go around like this and go in here. Watch another random encounter. So yeah, again, let's try take out the Z-Boss. I'm gonna try Agidan this time, because again, I think it might do more damage, so yeah, let's try. There you go, not bad. And they heal, which is very annoying. And in all ways, luckily that won't do anything, so yeah. So I guess we'll go again. There he goes, rank 5. And Magnar won't do anything, so yeah, let's go again. Yeah, battles aren't very interesting when you have one person, especially if they steamroll things like this, but that's okay. Again, I think, yeah, the point of Lone Shadow is that, yeah, you get a lot of lore and character moments, so yeah. Here's that start. Again, we need to go here. Because they have a key here. This too is unquestionably a secret room, but Shiori Miyashiro was nowhere inside. And called to Yoshisaka, it seems she requested her own death so she could arrest Joker. Normally a single detective wouldn't go that far. It also concerned me that she forbade contact with any police officer besides the brother. There must have been something else going on. Could it have been that there's some connection between the police and Joker? I spotted the key on top of the floor, but when I tried to approach, the corners of the room twisted mushly with a nauseating stench, and from the twisted space, several filthy tentacles stretched out. I jumped back and just barely evaded them as the tentacles flung a thick mucus across the entire room. Smoke rose violently from the walls. This thing's limbs were melting them. Simon is trying to rip through dimensions. Sees the tentacles stretch the walls as a foothold and force its way into this side. The walls crawled, and so did my flesh. I'd never seen this thing until now either. It seemed the demons on this side were more grotesque and worse taste than the ones I'd see on the other side. La Shub. I don't know if I should say that. Its body was at once like a festering cloud, an octopus, and a twisted tree, and its many mucus-discharging mouths set my teeth on edge. Its black feet were split like goat hooves. If a normal person had seen this once, they probably had gone insane. When you awaken to your persona belief, to the other, you who possess the power like gods and demons, you become able to summon a persona. If you call forth a god who holds sway over fire, like my Apollo, you can manipulate flames at will. So you even get to learn about how personas work as well, which is kind of interesting. In the depths of human hearts shared with all people, there's a domain where my mythological archetypes dwell, and they grant influence over an individual's personality development. Hermione said that anecdotes of mythological divinities the world over probably exist because of that. Gods and demons exist not in heaven and hell, but in the hearts of humanity. Personas even have an influence on physical and mental abilities. My ability to wield a sword like a master, my resistance to terror are both thanks to my persona. Gods and demons are not the only archetypes sleeping in the human heart. If the collective unconscious is where all human psyches are born and returned to, that means I too exist somewhere in the world of the subconscious as a master of arms. But neither you nor I belong to this side. Go home. If I didn't sell things fast, I suffocate on this thing's stench and the reek of the burning walls. I might have been a Personius, but if I couldn't breathe, I'd die. So now you need to fight this thing. This is another Cthulhu monster, I'm pretty sure. So here he is, and yeah, he's actually weak to physical, but he repels all magic. So we obviously want to use Gigantic first. Now we have Freyla, so that's cool. You can actually attack multiple enemies now, so that's nice. There we go for this. He does live, and he goes to Tentacle, which doesn't really look like a tentacle, but it does do a lot of damage, so yeah. Now you can go for another one. And yeah, one more will do it. There, he just goes for regular attack, that's a lot better. And one more time. So down he goes. The second I managed to kick that pseudo goat out this floor, like grabbed the VIP floor key and left out of that stinking room. When Nakamura saw that the stay inside, he'd scream. I try my best to be careful though. I hope he won't blame the other V afterwards. Alright, let's go on for a little bit longer. We'll take on the final boss of this in the next part, I think, so yeah. So we need to go down the stairs, and now we need to go up the opposite side. And guess who's back? So yeah, again I can escape. Yeah, Tatsu is definitely hurting a bit, but luckily we did just get 10 beads, so I can use one and with net 9 positives, so yeah. Anyway, over here is that VIP floor. So yeah, again, let's use one of those beads. And maybe one of those string souls we got too. I say maybe because I don't know if we really need it, but we'll see. So I'll use a bead. And again, do I want to use a string soul? It's 100. And yeah, Apollo I believe costs around 29 to use. Yeah. So then I get like 3 uses. I think we'll be fine. And yeah, you can actually save here. And yeah, if you are low leveled, probably save in a different slot just in case. So yeah. Just in case, yeah, things go horribly wrong is what I'm trying to get at anyway. So yeah, let's end things here. So yeah, again, next time, yeah, we're going to be taking on the final boss of Lone Shadow 1. And yeah, probably learning a lot more about the story going on here as well. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.